When I started my creative business, I sucked at selling. Like truly, I was terrible at selling. Now I run a multi-7-figure business and I have an entire sales team on board to support me. This is the exact formula that I use to sell like crazy. Every creative wants to land more clients, but not every creative has a formula to do it. Today I'm going to share the exact formula to help you to land more clients and convert better using what you've already got, using the skills that you already have. So it's a really simple formula. It's simply presence plus process equals performance. Now I sat down with my sales team just this week and walked them through this process and they were like, oh, minds blown. It was like, oh my goodness, this makes so much sense. Because as a team, we're always thinking about, okay, how can we help more people? How can we land more clients? How can we convert better? How can we increase our conversion rate? All of those good things. And that's all the performance piece, right? But there's this thing called a lead and a lag measure. Our conversion is often a lag measure. So what does that mean? It means that it comes at the result of lead measures. So our lead measures are the things that we can control, the things that we do, the habits that we have that impact the outcome. Okay, so conversion is a lag measure of two core things, presence and process. Those are the two things that we need. Those are our lead measures. So let's start with presence. What does presence actually mean? This is the energy, the style, the leadership, the authority, the confidence that you show up with on a sales call. Now, the person who shows up like, hey, I'm here to serve you. I'm here to help you. I'm an expert. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to guide you to make the right decision for you, versus the person who's like, I'm not going to even make an invitation. Oh, I feel icky. Oh, I feel pushy. Oh, it feels like a take. I'm going to lean out. Those are two entirely different energies. Those are two entirely different ways to show up in your sales process. And so many creatives fall into this camp where they are like, I don't want to be pushy. Please, I hope that you want to work with me. Or I hope that my work just speaks for itself and I don't actually have to do any selling. And so what we want to do is we want to show up with an energy. We want to embody this confidence and this authority that says, I know my value, I know my worth, and I am prepared to communicate it to you. So much of sales is a transfer of energy. That's what it is. It's a transfer of confidence from me to you. And so if I'm showing up with confidence in my offer, with confidence in myself, then you are far more likely to convert, right? Someone who shows up with authority, who shows up as the expert, not in an arrogant way, but just in a self-assured, I trust myself, I back myself kind of way. So that's the first piece. It's about your energy. The second piece is, it's actually about how you look after yourself. For our sales team, we were chatting through, okay, if your environment is scattered and messy and a bit chaotic, if you don't feel good in your body, if you've not been looking after your health, if you haven't gone outside for a while, if you haven't done your steps, if you haven't done some form of workout, it's going to show up in your body. It's going to show up in how you actually feel and how present you can be. Self-care is your sales fuel. So much of this, so much of selling is a transfer of not just verbal cues, but non-verbal cues. Your posture, the clothes that you wear, your body language. That's so much of how we actually sell and how we make decisions and how people view you. So that's really important. Self-care is your sales fuel. The third part is we need to balance empathy with strength. So if you're showing up with this expert energy that is like, cool, we're having a conversation today because you want help with your brand. To me, that energy feels like it's empathetic, but it also isn't nice girl energy. What do I mean by that? Nice girl energy is like, oh, I'm so sorry that you're experiencing this. This must be really, really challenging. Oh yeah, I totally get it. I relate. I feel you 100%. That's really, really hard. That's nice girl energy. Whereas empathy with strength, strong empathy is like, oh man, I hear you. That sounds really challenging. I don't want you to stay stuck. I don't want you to stay there. I want to help you and support you to get out of this. See the difference in the tone? The nice girl energy is like, oh, I'm so sorry. That's really terrible. And oh, I feel you. I relate so much. And then all of a sudden we're friend zoning. We're kind of becoming buddies with them rather than No, I'm the expert. And I hear you. That sounds painful. Let's fix it. It's a totally different frame. It's a totally different energy. So it's empathy with strength. So we've got your energy. How are you showing up? Are you leading? Are you showing up with authority, with expertise, with confidence? We've got your self-care. How are you looking after yourself? Are you giving yourself breathing room? Are you allowing yourself to perform at your best by looking after yourself? And then we've got empathy with strength. So we're showing up with this beautiful empathy. We get them, but we're not letting them stay stuck. So that to me is what presence feels like. That's what it looks like. And it's a totally different conversation when you show up with presence. Your presence is what makes you magnetic. It makes you irresistible to your dream client. And it might sound woo or it might sound a little intangible, but these things all stack up in your sales performance. And more than that, probably just in life, in your marketing, in your relationships, how you connect with people, when you meet people. If you show up with presence, you are an entirely different person. They are having an entirely different experience of you. That's the first part. The second part is process. A lot of creatives wing it in their sales process. They're like, oh, I've got a discovery call with someone. I guess I'll just figure out what they need and I'll put together a proposal and see how we go. That's what most people do, right? And so what we need to do is we need to be better than that. We need to actually have a process. So what are the pieces of the process we need to think about? We need to think about your script. Your script is really broken down into 3 core parts. So we've got your framing, which is how do you lead the call? What's the first 30 to 90 seconds of the interaction? Let's just be like, hey, I'm so excited to be chatting with you. You've booked a call with me because we want to talk about X, Y, Z. Is that right? They're like, okay, cool. I'm leaning in because you're taking control of the call. They're not able to hijack the call because you've been leading from the beginning. Does it sound like you're a jerk? If you're like, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, you're going to ask me some questions. By the end of this call, we're going to have a really good sense if we're the right fit for each other. And I just want to give lots of space for us to chat about the solution and how it could help you. I'm not asking, how's the weather? How are your kids? Do you have a dog? I'm not asking any of those weird questions. I'm just diving straight in. And what that signals to them is your time is important. Their time is important. You are in control of this and that you have a plan for them. If we don't frame well, we don't close well. The second piece of the script is your discovery. So this is where we want to think about, okay, what are the questions that you're going to ask? Questions like, why did you pick us? What made you reach out to me? What's going on right now that makes this the perfect time for us to have this conversation? Then we want to dig into, okay, cool. So talk to me. What are the roadblocks right now for you relating to whatever your service is? Then when they share those roadblocks, you can then go dig deeper and go, okay, cool. So what's the impact of that on this particular thing? Let's say it's branding as an example. What's the impact of your brand having on your business right now? Oh, it means that we're not memorable. It means that we're not cutting through. It means that it just feels a bit stale. It feels a bit old. I feel like we just need something fresh. Okay, amazing. What's happening financially, do you think? What's the impact financially on not having a good brand? I reckon we're losing X amount of sales per month. The impact is we're falling behind our competitors. We're not growing our audience online. We're not getting traction where we want to. We don't have PR opportunities because our brand sucks. Okay, cool. So those are some pretty big problems. How does it make you feel as the founder? Oh, it makes me feel disappointed. I feel underwhelmed. I feel worried. I feel worried that we're going to get left behind. So all of a sudden we're peeling back the layers. We're talking about this top level problem and then we're digging deep and we're going, okay, well, how does that make you feel? Okay, what happens if that doesn't change? How else is that impacting you? Is it impacting your personal life? Is it impacting your health? Is it impacting your family? Who else does this impact if this problem keeps going? How long has this been a problem? So we're just digging, we're trying to find as much information here as possible so that we've got this clarity on, okay, I know what the problem is here and I know what the solution is for you. And everything we're gathering here helps us to handle objections later. So the discovery has to go deeper than just surface level. I was coaching one of my clients through this the other day and she was like, Laura, it feels like therapy. The way you're asking these questions feels like therapy. It's like, and what else? And what else? What else is happening? Who else does this impact? Why does that feels like really painful? How does that make you feel? And it does feel like therapy, kind of, because we're again, with so much empathy and curiosity, we're like, oh, that feels like that would be really challenging. So we're digging deeper every time we do discovery. The third phase of the script is the close. So this is when we recap, okay, cool. So you've told me that you really need a new brand because of X, Y, Z. You've told me that it's impacting you in the business this way, but you've also told me that personally, it's impacting you in X, Y, Z ways, which is really painful and feels really challenging. And it feels like something that if you don't resolve it, your business could be in real trouble. And you personally are just going to feel so burnt out, feel so anxious. Have I missed anything? And they're like, oh my goodness, you've just summed up my life. I can't believe, yes, no, you've nailed it. And that's when you can be like, okay, amazing. So would you like me to walk through how I can help you solve this? And then they're just going to be like, yes, please. And that's when you present your offer. You walk them through, hey, this is how we work. This is what it would look like. If you have set prices, you present the prices here. If you need to send a proposal, you say, cool, here are the next steps. I'm going to send you a proposal. And you get their commitment. We want to get commitment in the close. So whether it's take my money, here's my credit card, that's possible. You can do that. I love doing that. But if that's not possible for you, if you need to put together a proposal or custom quoting, that's when you really still want to get their commitment. There's nothing worse than creating a proposal for them to be like, oh, we'll just think about it. We still want to get a sense of commitment. So it could be that you ask, okay, amazing. Before I put together the proposal, I want to get a sense of where we're at right now. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, no, this isn't the right fit for me, and 10 being, I want to do this and I'm really keen. Where are you sitting right now? And if they give you like an 8, you can be like, awesome, okay, cool. So 8 out of 10, why not a 4? The reason it's not a 4 is because I really liked how you presented the ideas. I love your other projects. I know that we need to do this now. And so all of a sudden they start selling themselves. They start going, yeah, I need to do this now. And they just verbal word vomit the reasons that they need to work with you. So we're just getting them closer to that 10 out of 10. Then you can go, amazing, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a proposal. Here's the next steps and walk them through it very, very clearly. Remember that we've led in the frame, we can lead in the close. So you're just grabbing this, you're wrapping the whole thing up. You're going, cool, here are the next steps. Let's lead from here. All right. So we've got the framing, we've got the discovery, we've got the close. If you do not have a sales script, if you don't have a series of questions that you need to ask that not only are like top level head questions, but actually like heart questions, if you don't have that, you will miss out on sales and you won't be able to stretch the gap. You won't be able to get the right people, the big fish clients that you really want to get if you just wing your sales process. So it's a really, really important piece of the puzzle. And then the only other piece of the process that you need to consider is objection handling. Are you giving yourself enough time in the sales call to handle objections? So if they say they need to, oh, this sounds amazing, I just need to think about it. We need to be able to handle that objection. If they say, oh, it sounds great, I need to talk to my partner, we need to be able to handle that objection. If they say, oh, this sounds really good, I just don't think I have the time right now, we need to be able to handle that objection. So process is a huge piece of the puzzle. So we've got our presence, it's how you are showing up. We've got our process, it's the system that you are following. And then that leads to performance. I've put together my 7-figure operating system. So if you're a creative who wants to scale and you want to have all of my playbooks, all of my systems to not only sell well, but to market, to build team, to have capacity, to grow and scale, build systems, all of that good stuff that you need to scale your creative business, then I've put together the 7-figure operating system just for you. I walk through my entire process to help you to build a 7-figure creative business. So hit the link in my show notes. You'll find that there as well. I'd love to support you to help you to scale further and faster than you ever thought possible. So remember, if we want performance, we need to have presence, that's how you show up, and process, the system that you follow. Go get them.